And a good evening, high school baseball fans. Welcome to another exciting baseball matchup on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Richard Holdridge here on the broadcast, back after a week-long vacation. I had to work. Calvary taking on Northside, as you got the 5A team out of the GHSA, the Northside Patriots, visiting the defending GAPS champion Calvary Christian Knights. Loving the pitch-up matchup as Tommy Irving taking the mound for the Knights, going up against Brody Wells for Coaches Sparks and the Northside Patriots, that they are going to be in the playoffs as well. Calvary Christian, they will have the finale against Brookstone next week on Tuesday, and then game one of the GAPS first round playoffs. Doubleheader starts Friday as the Calvary Christian Knights try to go for 6 straight GAPS championships. We'll try to give you score updates throughout the night as the regular season is wrapping up for all classifications in Georgia and Alabama in the later couple of weeks. As right now, Columbus, they defeated Monroe in the first game, 12-0, and Glenwood leading Coosa Valley Academy. Leading things off for the Northside Patriots is the shortstop, Chris Biggs, followed by Javion Wyndham, Walker Elrod, Caden Clay is the cleanup hitter, Brody Wells batting 5th, Ward Walker, Nash Fox, Ashton Bailey, and Job Roper. And on the mound for Coach Steve Smith's Calvary Christian Knights is Tommy Irving as Biggs steps into the plate. Irving gets the sign he wants, and he delivers in his windup, and we are underway here at Calvary Christian as that is inside for a ball, 1-0. Glad to be here on a day where it's getting a little bit warmer as we get ready in April. As that's fouled back, it's 1-1. Of course, WRBL news anchor Phil Scoggins in the house as his grandson, Luke Scoggins, one of the top base stealers on the Calvary Christian Knights. This is a packed house as we got two teams that have their share of championships and a lot of history up in North Columbus. A check swing, win around? Yes, he did. It's 1-2. Northside Patriots winning the state championship in 2019, and they are on the way to the playoffs once again. As Irving, the 1-2, change up, and that is high and upstairs, and it evens the count at 2-2. Right now, Shaw is taking on Callaway up in Hogansville. We did have a lot of action in high school baseball yesterday. We'll get to those scores. Irving's 2-2 pitch, and that is lined into center field. What a catch! What a catch by the center fielder, Cam Houston, showing off the glove for the first out. That is going to be the most exciting first out you'll ever hear on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Trying to get back into the swing of things. And coming up to the plate is Javion Wyndham, the second baseman. One out here in the first. Irving's pitch is right down Broadway for a strike one. Irving delivers the 0-1. And that is in there, strike two. So Irving ahead of the count to Javion Wyndham. Northside 8-15 on the season. They've had a tough stretch, facing teams like McIntosh and Harris County. 0-2 is high for a ball. 1-2, but they are the third seed. They will be in the playoffs, but they will be on the road. Irving, he's got a 1-2 count. And time is called. The Northside Patriots, led by their head coach, Steve Sparks. The 1-2, and that is in the dirt. It evens the count at 2-2. Walker Elrod on deck for the Northside Patriots. And these two schools in very much close proximity. They're about a minute away. in North Columbus. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball right on the outside corner, strike three. Ring him up, the first strikeout for Tommy Irving. 2 quick outs here in the first inning, and now Walker Elrod, the senior, coming up to the plate. One of the top hitters for Coach Sparks and the Northside Patriots. Steps into the batter's box. Irving delivers.
It's truck season at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful full-size and fully loaded Chevrolet Silverado LTZ. Discounted up to $13,000 off. Or the roomy midsize 3-row SUV Chevy Traverse. Discounted up to $6,750 off. And the perfect size Chevy Equinox up to $8,500 off. No payments until the end of summer. Over 350 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way.
Get ready to smile.
Back here at Calvary Christian, they're taking on the Northside Patriots, the 5A school, just approximately a minute down the road as in the Battle of North Columbus. As both of these players, they know each other, probably played at Northern Little League together, possibly American Little League. As the pitcher, that first pitch, Cam Houston drills it deep center. And that is gone! A leadoff home run for Cam Houston, and Calvary starts this party in the first with a solo shot to the deepest part of the field. Wow, Cam Houston, what a shot. And he gets high fives all around from his teammates. Calvary leads 1-0. Noah Strickland, the batter, followed by Bailey Thorne, leading the team with 10 home runs, and then Bryson Brooks, Carson Ward, Jackson Kennedy, Liam Holcutt. Brody Wells' first pitch is down low, 1-0. A reminder, Calvary will play Brookstone next Tuesday, as that check swing is, doesn't matter. It's going to be strike one. It's 1-1. We will have that game here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Calvary Brookstone next week. By the way, Brookstone swept Strong Rock Christian yesterday. So they are right now in first place in the GIAA because they got the tiebreaker with Pacelli. Little check swing blooper over to Wyndham. And it gets past Wyndham, and that's going to be ruled an error. That's going to be an E4 on Javion Wyndham, and Calvary has got a runner on base. And that's going to be problems because we have one of the top hitters in the state, Bailey Thorne, coming up to the plate. You remember this guy? A walk-off home run to win the semifinal game last year, put Calvary in the championship. I mean, he has done it all this year. I mean, he does have 10 home runs, but we know that now pitchers know that he hit 16 home runs last year. They're probably not pitching directly to him. They're trying to pitch around him. It doesn't matter with this guy. As that is popped up, is it playable? And they're running out of room as that's going to hit the roof of the dugout. One-on-one count to Bailey Thorne. Runner at first, Noah Strickland. Brody Wells throws back. Ooh, that was close. Close call there at first. So it's looking like the Columbus Blue Devils are going to be hosting a playoff game in the first round. They took the first game to Monroe. And got to watch out for that game because the Carver Tigers possibly could sneak into the playoffs, maybe can win the tiebreaker with Monroe. There's a swing and a miss, tip, strike 3. And Bailey Thorne goes down on strikes for the first out. What a pitch by Brody Wells to get the strikeout. And now the cleanup hitter, Bryson Brooks, coming up to the plate. One down. Northside in double play depth. First pitch, and that is fouled away. And I love the glass sound effects in the stadium sounds. I remember that was very cool, very creative. Was able to work the stadium sounds when I was working for a minor league baseball team almost 20 years ago. As that is outside, 1-1. Yeah, it's been a while. Bryson Brooks, clean-up hitter. Wells, the stretch. That's in the dirt. It gets by the catcher, and that's going to be an easy steal for Noah Strickland, now in scoring position. And I got to mention this on the broadcast because a lot of these Calvary and Northside players did play at Northern Little League. I do see some Northern Little League hats. We all know the history of Northern Little League. I keep stressing on the broadcast. The 2006 Little League World Series champions. I mean, it put Columbus on the map. At the time, I wasn't even in Columbus. That's how I heard about Columbus, because of the Northern Little League. And we all remember the famous call by Brent Musburger. Lester with the tag out, and Northern Little League beats Japan. And then they had a big parade, and they were stars. And then 4 years later, Columbus ends up winning 3 straight state titles. So. And then a lot of those players also played for Northside and Shaw. I'll try to get a score update on that Shaw-Callaway game. Callaway, one of the top teams in Troup County, as Shaw is up there. They're going to be hosting Troup County next week. Back-to-back years hosting a playoff game at home. The 3-1, and that is outside ball 4. Bryson Brooks on board with a base on ball. And now Carson Ward, the third baseman with 2 runners on and 1 out, is coming up to the plate. Brody Wells working from the stretch. The first pitch to Ward. There's a ground ball, and that is going to be right to the shortstop, Biggs, for 1. Over to first. not in time. 6-4 on the putout. They do get the fielder's choice. But advancing over to third is Strickland, and now Calvary's got runners at the corners for the catcher, Jackson Kennedy. We have got a packed house here at Calvary, a very unique baseball stadium. We got the bleachers, and then we also got the hill behind the bleachers where, you got parents and fans. They got their folding chairs, and they get a very good view of this. And this is where we're up here. Chris Gates and I, we are up here. That first pitch is in there for a strike. Oh, and also, by the way, a big shout out to our intern, Hayden. Hope I get that name right. It's a 1-1 count to Jackson Kennedy. Calvary did pick up their 20th victory. Runner goes. And he thought about throwing, and now Calvary's got runners in scoring position. They picked up their 20th victory yesterday, beating Troup County. And we know how good Troup County is. Coach Tanner Glisson, also the football coach, he's got them ready to play Shaw as that hits the batter. Jackson Kennedy hit by a pitch. It loads the bases. And now a familiar face because he also played on the basketball team. Liam Holcutt coming up to the plate, the designated hitter. A big shout out to the Calvary head basketball coach, Coach Jonathan Gordon. Had him joining me for a couple innings of that Calvary Carver game. And we talked about Liam Holcutt. He's a tremendous athlete, a basketball player, but also plays baseball. He's got a chance here with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the first. That first pitch is sailing outside for a ball, 1-0. Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. The 1-0. There's a chopper. Right to throw, and it hits the batter. But what it does it, but it actually, there's a collision between the third baseman and the batter. So he wasn't called out. What a sequence of events. Job Roper tried to field it. Are the umpires saying that it hit the batter? Because if it hit the batter, he's out and the inning's over. The scoreboard says 3 runs have crossed. All right, that is how the first inning ends. We'll go ahead and try to get that score update, and maybe the scorekeeper will put it back to 1 because from our angle, it's hard to see the instant replay. But I think they're going to count those runs. Coach Sparks is out there arguing. He just wants to have a conversation with the umpire. He wants to find out what was inspiring there on that play because it was a very bang-bang play. All right, we'll go to the top of the second inning. Calvary does lead Northside 3-0. That's the unofficial score, but this game is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, and also Thrift Behringer Construction, and St. Anne Pacelli, Columbus State University. We'll be back.
Truckloads of fresh inventory are rolling into Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, like this powerful all-new GMC Sierra 1500 SLT. Now available with up to $13,000 off. Purchase the roomy GMC Terrain SLT, discounted up to $97.50 off. And the GMC Acadia AT4 all-wheel drive, discounted up to $8,000 off. Enjoy no payments till the end of summer at Glenn Smith GMC. Over 350 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way.
Get ready to smile.
We're back here at Calvary Christian High School. Though apparently those runs did count because the ball actually hit the third baseman and not the batter, so the batter was not tagged out, but they did get the final out, and it's 3-0 Calvary. There's a check swing by Caden Clay, the cleanup hitter. Caden Clay also the quarterback for the Northside Patriots team. The 0-1, and that is chopped foul. We saw Northside football several games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. As Caden Clay is going to enter his senior year for the Northside Patriots and Coach Orpeza. We're excited about that as Northside making that transition down to 4A. There's the pitch, and that is just missed. So a big shout out. Finally got his name right, but the intern is Hagen Hale. He is a senior at Northside, so, you know, he supports the Northside Patriots. Going to be a freshman at CSU, so good luck to him. And possibly the University of Georgia, as he says. But he's, you know, we appreciate anybody that wants to learn broadcasting and then check out what Thrip Behringer, myself, Chris Gates, Rick Beach, all of us do here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. That is outside ball 3. We've had a lot of memories here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live, including the 5-hour marathon between Kendrick and Spencer. Of course, Chris Gates called a game that was about 5 hours for CVCC. Oh, that is roped down the line, foul. A good cut, but he was a little early. Caden Clay leading off the second. Irving's pitch, and that is up the middle for a base hit, and Caden Clay leads off the second with a single. So with a runner on, Brody Wells is going to be the batter. Irving works from the stretch. Clay with a good lead at first. He's got the signs of he might take off. I tell you, he had it in his eyes. He was like going. It kind of reminded me of Dave Roberts in the 2004 ALCS. Everybody knew he was going. Look at that lead. Irving with the stretch. He might throw down there a couple of times as well, as that is outside ball 1. Irving checks the runner. And the pitch, fastball outside, and a good stop by the catcher, Jackson Kennedy, trying to keep Caden Clay right there at first. Northside wants to try to cut into this lead, try to play small ball, try to get every opportunity to get those runs back that they surrendered in the first. Starting with a leadoff home run by Cam Hudson. The 2-1, and it's high for a ball, and it's a hitter's count to Brody Wells with Ward Walker on deck. We talk about the tradition and history of the Northside Patriots. There's a throwback to first. Northside winning the state championship in 2019. The softball team winning multiple state championships, as they have a new head softball coach this year. Sydney Carastori, who's also the wife of Jonathan Carastori, who is the president of the FCA. That's a big around here. A big shout out to the Carastoris, and good luck this season for the Northside Lady Patriots. The 2-1, swing and a miss, and that evens the count at 2-2. That was a little out of the strike zone. I think Wells just wanted to, he saw a high pitch and he just wanted to try to put in a play and kind of give Northside just a spark of energy here in the second. Down by 3 runs. Irving throws back, and there's a very close play at first base. Boy, these pickoffs back to first have been exciting. They've been some close calls. Irving's pitch. That is fouled back to the screen. We appreciate everybody that's been supporting us here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We called the Troup County Calvary game yesterday. I mean, we called Smith Station Central, Pacelli Heritage. I mean, we have truly been busy as that is fouled back 2-2. Northside, we also had Harris County McIntosh. By the way, a big shout out to Harris County getting 2 out of 3 against the state runners-up. As Rick Beach from Kutsu Sports calling Harris County. They will be hosting a playoff game at the county. Irving's 2-2. Fouled back. And please do not hit that car. That's the thing is we got that street to the right of the baseball diamond where that's where cars end up driving by. It's kind of got that feel at Columbus High where you got that street right next to the baseball stadium, and you just got to hope that you got to keep your head on a swivel. Irving from the stretch, the 2-2. That's in the dirt. It runs the count full. Being patient at the plate and just getting that pitch count up. Brody Wells playing a little money ball here, trying to get on base. 3-2, and that's back over to first. Just working the pitch count, trying to get on base. The payoff pitch, runner goes. That is outside ball 4. It's not going to matter. It's a stolen. Well, it's not going to be counted as a stolen base because it's outside ball 4. But a good strategy because if it's a strike or you put the ball in play, you got the runner running on the play. So it's one of those moments where you're going to go on that pitch because worst case scenario, it's ball 4, but you got a hit and run that you can work with. And plus it puts the catcher in a position where he's got to make a decision. But Brody Wells, he walks. Both runners on base here in the second with no outs. The tying run coming up to the plate for Northside. That is Ward Walker, the right fielder. By the way, Coach Steve Sparks of the Northside Patriots, also related to athletic director of Columbus State, Coach Jay Sparks. And we found that out at Baseball Media Day. That is in there for a strike. To Ward Walker, Nash Fox on deck. Northside is going to the playoffs, but they will be on the road as the two top teams, McIntosh and Harris County, will be hosting playoff games in their region. That is good stop by Kennedy. It's 2-1. Calvary Christian led by their head baseball coach, Coach Steve Smith, the coach of the Columbus Chattahoots for the past 3 seasons, adding former Chattahoots pitcher Brian Trepanier to the staff as a pitching coach. The 1-1 showing bunt, lays it down, and that is going to be foul. Looks like it was a squeeze play bunt, trying to get those runners to advance over. Anytime you have multiple runners on base, wherever you lay down that bunt, the infield has got to come in and try to make a play at a forced bag. But I think that's a good strategy by Ward Walker to sacrifice them over, especially with no outs. But it looks like he's going to swing away and is outside. It's a 3-1 count to the right fielder, Ward Walker. Irving checks the runner at second. Takes his time. The 3-1. That's it. That's a strike 3. So that was the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. And that is going to be a huge out here in the second. That is the 3rd strikeout for Tommy Irving. And now Nash Fox coming up to the plate with runner at first and second with 1 out. Irving checks the runner. First pitch to Fox. Swing on a miss. Good cut by Fox. He actually let go of his bat as Irving was throwing some heat. It's good velocity on that pitch. It's an 0-1 count. Irving. Shortstop trying to play the bag. It's outside and high for a ball. 1-1. Just a reminder, Thrip Barringer and I will be at CVCC for CVCC baseball. Chris Gates is going to be at Russell County for CVCC softball. We got a doubleheader here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. The 1-1, and that is in there. Strike two. Good pitch. It's a 1-2 count to Nash Fox. Irving from the stretch, and Fox going to call time. I'm going to dub this segment your out-of-town scoreboard, as Columbus defeated Monroe 12-0. Glenwood leading Coosa Valley Academy 12-0. Oh, that is outside, ball two. Last night, Central defeated Smith Station 4-3. They clinched the region. That is in there. Strike three. What a pitch. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tommy Irving, his fourth strikeout of the game. And Ashton Bailey coming up to the plate for the Patriots. How about this score? Sumter County defeats Kendrick 34-33. There's a throw back to second, trying to keep that runner honest. And it actually gets the runner in a good play by the shortstop to cover down. So your out-of-town scoreboard from yesterday: Heritage defeated Pacelli 4-3. Central defeated Smith Station 4-3. Sumter County defeats Kendrick 34-33. How about the Hardaway Hawks? They're going to the playoffs. They defeated the Jordan Red Jackets 6-5. And Brookstone gets the sweep over Strong Rock Christian. There's a high towering fly ball into left field, and makes the grab is Bryson Brooks for a loud third out here in the second. But Northside strands two runners aboard as we'll go to the bottom of the second inning. It's Calvary 3, Northside nothing, as this game is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. We are also brought to you by Barringer Construction, St. Anne Pacelli, and Columbus State University. We'll be back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
It's truck season at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful full-size and fully loaded Chevrolet Silverado LTZ. Discounted up to $13,000 off. Or the roomy midsize 3-row SUV Chevy Traverse. Discounted up to $6,750 off. And the perfect size Chevy Equinox up to $8,500 off. No payments until the end of summer. Over 350 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way.
Get ready to smile.
Today's broadcast is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC and Opelika. Go to glennsmith.com for more information. Get ready to smile.
Back here at Calvary Christian High School, bottom of the second inning. Calvary leading Northside 3-0. Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Richard Holdridge back up in the broadcast booth. I'm just excited. You know, I've been away doing military training. I've really enjoyed watching the broadcast with Chris Gates, Rick Beach, Thrift Behringer, Noah Shelton. I mean, that's the dream team right there. At first pitch, and that's on the fist. Right to the second baseman, Wyndham. Throws it out to first. 4-3 on the put out. Brody Wells gets Case Charles to ground out for the first out here in the second. Calvary put up 3 runs in the first, led by Cam Houston's leadoff homer. But also a very strange play where there was a ground ball that apparently it looked like it hit the runner, but it was a collision between the third baseman and the runner, which allowed 2 runs to score, but they finally got an out to end the inning, and that's where we stand. And we got Peyton Morrison that fouls one back. It's 1-1. Wells, it's in the dirt, ball 2. 2-1. That pitch is high for a ball. It's a hitter's count, 3-1 to the number 8 hitter, Peyton Morrison. And the 3-1, high fly ball into left field, going back at the track, and it's off the line and a home run. Wow, what a shot. Peyton Morrison just took the ball and sailed it so deep into left field that it hit the light out in left field. And of course, high fives all around at the plate. And Calvary leads 4-0. And maybe this next batter can duplicate what Peyton Morrison did, is Cam Houston, who led things off with a home run in the first. He comes up, taking on Brody Wells. Wells, first pitch to Houston. That's in the dirt, 1-0. Wells delivers the 1-0. There's a ground ball right to the shortstop. It takes a bad hop and it goes into left field. They're going to rule that one a hit. As Chris Biggs tried to one-hop it, it goes past him into the outfield. That's going to be a hit. And Cam Houston's second hit of the game. He's aboard here with 1 out. And Noah Strickland, who reached on an error in the first, scored a run, will come up to the plate for Calvary Christian Knights. The defending GAPS champions trying to go for 6 in a row as their final year in the GAPS, as they will make that transition into the GIAA. And I can't stress enough how exciting that rivalry between Calvary, Brookstone, and Pacelli is going to be in the GIAA. Not just for baseball, but for all sports. Runner goes. There's a chopper. Looks like the hit and run was in play. That chopper is going to be foul. It's going to be a 1-1 count. Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know, we just hit 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. Big milestone for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Is, by the way, we do approach our 1-year anniversary. That's coming up in June. I think, Chris, we got to have a big celebration or something for that. There's a chopper. Is that going to stay fair? It does. Played by Wells. And that's going to be an overthrow. It's going to be behind the first baseman. The right fielder is going to cover, rounding third, but holding is going to be Cam Houston. And now we have runners at the corners with 1 out. And Bailey Thorne has another opportunity for a big RBI chance. Leads the team with 10 home runs. He would love to get a hold of one here. Calvary leads 4-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. Brody Wells, the pitcher for Northside, comes into this game 8-15. Calvary 20-7. They are 6-0 in the region. The 10 straight times that they have won their region. The only time they didn't, the COVID year, 2020. But what Coach Steve Smith has built at Calvary has been absolutely phenomenal. And they have just made improvements to the facilities. I drove by. They got a nice press box for the football field. We're excited about that too. Coach Emmanuel Brunson, they got spring practices coming up in May. We got the spring game. Excited about that. Coach Brunson building up a great football program, and we can't wait till the football season as well. Wells, 2-1. There's a ground ball, and that is going to be there by the first baseman. Third baseman tags the runner at second for 1. He'll get the lead out, but the runner will score, and Calvary now leads 5-1. As that is 5-4 on the putout. It was a loud ground out, but where we are up, Joe Roper was able to get it on a hop, throw the lead out at second. But the run does score. It is now 5-0. And Bryson Brooks, the batter, he walked in the first. Change up. Just missed outside, ball 1. Wells throws it back to first. He just rockets it back to first, trying to get the runner there. There's a 1-1. It's popped up. Right field. It's got a room. And that is gone! That looked like it was going to be a loud pop-up. That actually sailed, and it kept sailing, and it kept sailing out of here for a 2-run shot by Bryson Brooks. And Calvary leads 7-0. We've had 3 home runs in this game. Two down, and Carson Ward, the batter, he reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Wonder how long Coach Sparks is going to stay with his starting pitcher, Brody Wells. We don't see any activity in the bullpen. That first pitch, and that hits him. A hit batter, Carson Ward, is aboard once again. That's the second hit batsman of the game for Northside. And that extends the inning, and Jackson Kennedy coming up here in the second. And there's a ground ball, and it's fielded by the pitcher. He slips, throws it, a little scoop. Oh, what a play! What a scoop, as you got the first baseman, Walker Elrod, picking machine, getting the loud out. As 1-3 on the putout, it ends the inning, but not before Calvary puts up 4 runs here in the second. We go to the top of the third inning. It's Calvary 7, Northside nothing. As this game is brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, also brought to you by Behringer Construction, St. Epicelli, and Columbus State University. We'll be back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
We love being able to go to the different high school, colleges, middle schools to live broadcast sporting events around the area. Georgia Alabama Sports Live appreciates all the fan support, but without a presenting sponsor like Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC in Opelika, none of this would be possible. So we want to say thank you so much. Go to glennsmith.com. That is right, glennsmith.com. See all the inventory and see why people always say, get ready to smile. Thanks, everyone, and thank you to Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC for being our presenting sponsor.
It's truck season at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful full-size and fully loaded Chevrolet Silverado LTZ. Discounted up to $13,000 off. Or the roomy midsize 3-row SUV Chevy Traverse. Discounted up to $6,750 off. And the perfect size Chevy Equinox up to $8,500 off. No payments until the end of summer. Over 350 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way.
Get ready to smile.
We're back here, top of the third inning. Calvary leads Northside 7-0. So in case you're wondering about that pick and machine reference, that's from one of my favorite movies, Moneyball, when Billy Bean is telling Scott Hatterberg he's learning first base, and he calls him, Hattie, pick a machine. Love that movie. And that is fouled off the fist as Joe Roper leads off the third for Northside. As Callaway is playing Shaw up in Hogansville, trying to get a score update from my good friend that works at BTV Sports, Kevin Eckleberry. As we were there calling the Calvary-LaGrange game. It's always nice to just go outside of the Tri-City area up in Troup County. They've got fantastic fan bases, LaGrange, Troup, and Callaway. There's a strike three. What a pitch by Tommy Irving. Ring it up. 5 strikeouts for Tommy Irving, and Chris Biggs, the batter. He flied out to right field his first time up. Actually, center field. That was when Cam Houston made that incredible catch. There's a pitch that's in there for a strike. So the Northside Patriots, known for just great athletes, the 0-1. That is roped into left center. That is going to fall in the gap, and that's going to be a base hit. And Briggs is going to round first, and he's going to have a stand-up double with 1 out here in the third. So we were talking about these great Northside athletes. We talk about Malachi Hosley, playing at Penn. I mean, Abby Lovell, the softball player that had the perfect game and the walk-off grand slam. Maya Giles for the Northside Patriots, Lady Patriots basketball team. Of course, they did win the state championship in 2019. And they are going to be back in the playoffs this year. And there's a line drive in left field, a base hit. Biggs is going to hold at third, and we have runners at the corners with 1 out. So back-to-back hits for the Northside Patriots. Biggs with a double. Javion Wyndham with a single. And now the number 3 hitter, Walker Elrod, the picking machine, is coming up to the plate. And I know that this would be a moment where if he could hit a game-winning home run like Scott Hatterberg did against the Kansas City Royals for the A's to win 20 straight games in 2002, that would just be epic right here. Walker Elrod, the batter. Runners at the corners. As we can't really see it from this angle, but this is an absolute packed house here at Calvary. You got fans from Northside and Calvary, both schools, just about a couple of minutes away, maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, the intern Hagen Hale is saying 2 minutes because he's a senior at Northside. He knows how long it takes to get here. 2 minutes. Oh, nice pickoff move. But back to the bag is Javion Wyndham. As Calvary Christian leads 7-0. Northside threatening here in the third. They want to try to get some of those runs back and extend this game. Oh, what a play. That almost looked like a pickoff. I'll tell you what, Tommy Irving's got a good pickoff move. He's working from the stretch. And the pitch to Elrod is high and upstairs for a ball. as the baseball playoffs will start for some teams next week. We've got the GIAA, AISA, and the GAPS. Calvary will be back here for games 1 and 2 of the first round of the GAPS playoffs this Friday, and a game 3 on Saturday if necessary. And that is high and upstairs. It's going to be ball 3, 3-1. A hitter's count for Walker Elrod. Caden Clay on deck for Northside as Elrod steps out of the batter's box. Elrod, one of the many seniors on this team. That is outside, ball 4, and that loads the bases for the all-world cleanup hitter who's got a single in this game, Caden Clay, also the quarterback for Northside. Entering his senior season, as Coach Steve Smith is going to have a talk with his pitcher, Irving, to try to settle his nerves and see what Calvary can try to do here. We're going to go ahead and take a break, as this is the top of the 3rd inning. Calvary leading Northside 7-0 here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We'll be right back.
It's truck season at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful full-size and fully loaded Chevrolet Silverado LTZ. Discounted up to $13,000 off. Or the roomy midsize 3-row SUV Chevy Traverse. Discounted up to $6,750 off. And the perfect size Chevy Equinox up to $8,500 off. No payments until the end of summer. Over 350 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way.
Get ready to smile.
We're back here, 7-0, top of the 3rd inning. Caden Clay, the batter, with the bases loaded. High fly ball into left field. That is off the fence. That's a grand slam. Wow. Whoa. That cleared the fence. Wow. Caden Clay with a grand salami. Touch 'em all. And Northside saying, we're not done yet. They just trimmed a 7-0 lead to now 7-4. Unbelievable. And it's hard to tell at this angle if that, from where we were, that cleared the fence. I thought it actually hit the fence. Took a little bit to call it. I saw the umpire give the home run signal, grand slam. Yeah, that's what Hagan is saying. It hit the bottom of the fence out there. Base is empty. Northside now trails 7-4. And Brody Wells, the batter. Swing and a miss. 1-1. What a sequence of events. It looked like Calvary was going to run away with this game, but Northside claws back in, and they only trail by 3. That check swing, did he go around? Well, that was actually outside for a ball. It's 2-0. Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thrift and I and Chris, we're going to be calling some CVCC baseball and softball tomorrow. I'm excited. It's my debut for CVCC baseball. That is outside for a ball. As I've been hearing you guys on the broadcast, and Noah Shelton, Chris, Rick, you guys have all been doing a great job on the broadcast. Thrift, as always. Just one big team here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and we're hoping to grow as well. 3-1, that is roped into center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. A one-out single by Brody Wells. He's on board twice so far. And the bats are coming alive here in the 3rd for the Northside Patriots. Although this is a non-region game, they want to try to build some momentum getting ready for the playoffs. They will be on the road, but as we know, this Northside team is dangerous when it comes to the playoffs. Just a lot of baseball talent. And Coach Sparks is going to have them ready come playoff time. As for Calvary Christian, they would like to get rolling and get ready for the GAPS playoffs. They do have one more regular season game, and that is going to be on Tuesday against the Brookstone Cougars. And you can catch that game on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. As we called a couple of Brookstone games this year, including the Border Wars, and them taking on Pacelli and Columbus. Irving's pitch, and that is fouled back, and heads up over there. Is that pretty close in the parking lot? That's behind us. And we are glad that you are joining us here on a Friday evening for high school baseball. This is a packed house. Not an empty seat in the bleachers. We've got people on the grass. We've got folding chairs lined up everywhere. The 0-1. That's in the dirt. A good stop by Kennedy. He's going to throw down to second. That's going to be a stolen base for Brody Wells. He got a good jump, but it was a ball that was in the dirt, and Kennedy had to make a play. Now Northside's got a runner in scoring position. Ward Walker struck out in the second. Irving from the stretch. And the pitch. And that is chopped foul. It's a 1-1 count. One ball, one strike, one out. Ward Walker, the batter. Irving, the pitch. It's in the dirt again. A stop by Kennedy, but the runner is going to get second. He's going to get third base with another stolen base. And now he's 90 feet away from cutting into this lead once again, as Northside has put up 4 runs here in the third, thanks to a grand slam by Caden Clay. 2 balls, no strikes. Irving delivers. And the pitch. That just missed. It's 3-0. Also, just a big reminder that today is also game 2 of the Columbus River Dragons in the playoffs, as that is low ball 4. And Ward Walker aboard with a walk. Runners at the corners with 1 out. And Nash Fox, the batter. We had the Columbus Lions yesterday just dismantling Harrisburg 73-20. I was watching that game on the Columbus Lions YouTube channel. Thrip Behringer doing just an outstanding job. And Columbus Lions are now 3-0 on the season. And now we got the River Dragons playing the Mississippi Seawolves. If they win today, they're going to the semifinals. As Coach Smith says, that's going to be all for Tommy Irving. We're going to have a pitching change coming into the game to pitch for the Calvary Christian Knights, as we'll try to get his number 19. That is going to be Andrew Seville. He is going to come on in relief as we'll go to a break. Top of the 3rd inning. It's Calvary 7, Northside 4. As this game is brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. And we'll be back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Truckloads of fresh inventory are rolling into Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, like this powerful all-new GMC Sierra 1500 SLT. Now available with up to $13,000 off. Purchase the roomy GMC Terrain SLT, discounted up to $97.50 off. And the GMC Acadia AT4 all-wheel drive, discounted up to $8,000 off. Enjoy no payments till the end of summer at Glenn Smith GMC. Over 350 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way.
Get ready to smile.
We love being able to go to the different high school, colleges, middle schools to live broadcast sporting events around the area. Georgia Alabama Sports Live appreciates all the fan support, but without a presenting sponsor like Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC in Opelika, none of this would be possible. So we want to say thank you so much. Go to glennsmith.com. That is right, glennsmith.com. See all the inventory and see why people always say, get ready to smile. Thanks, everyone, and thank you to Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC for being our presenting sponsor.
Back here at Calvary, the new pitcher, Seville, on the mound for the Calvary Christian Knights, leading 7-4. And Nash Fox, the batter. So we'll try to get some stats on Andrew Seville. Coming in relief. As Calvary Christian 20-7 on the season, 6-0 in region play. Nash Fox, the batter. Seville's first pitch, and that is popped up. That's playable. Underneath it, making the catch, and what a catch that was Carson Ward for the second out. So Seville coming in and doing the job of getting the first out, and that's how you get out of an inning where Northside just puts up 4 runs. Calvary wants to try to stop the bleeding. Seville, he has pitched in 11 innings this year, 23 strikeouts. That first pitch is in there, strike 1 to Ashton Bailey. Then it'll be the number 9 hitter, Roper, and then back to the top of the order. Can Northside extend this inning here in the third? Seville, changeup in the dirt, 1-1. Seville working from the stretch, the 1-1 pitch. That's in there, strike 2. Good location by Andrew Seville. Seville working from the stretch, the 1-2. That is just outside, ball 2. Seville looks at the runner. The 2-2 pitch. Just outside, it runs the count full, 3-2. More than likely, the runner at first might be going on this pitch. One of those situations where he probably needs to go. And he does. And that is low, ball 4, and that loads up the bases. So with ducks on the pond in every base, the number 9 hitter, Job Roper, who struck out in the third, is going to lead it off for Northside. And I can't stress enough, this is a jam-packed stadium tonight. Fans from Northside and Calvary, these two schools 2 minutes away. Northside feels like this is practically a home game when you're going 2 minutes away to see a baseball game. It's absolutely incredible atmosphere. As Roper coming up to the plate. And he fouls it away. It's 1-1. Some other games tonight. Shaw is taking on Callaway. We'll try to get a score update on that game. That's in the dirt. Good stop by Kennedy. Nobody's going to advance. It's 2-1. And that's in there for a strike, 2-2. Is Calvary trying to get out of this inning here in the third? It's 7-4. The 2-2. And that just missed. Wow, that was a close pitch. It runs the count full. Job Roper being patient, making Seville run up that pitch count, the payoff pitch coming, and that hits him, and a run scores. Roper gets hit by a pitch on a 3-2 count, and it is now 7-5. Northside has scored 5 unanswered runs here in the third, and they trail by 2. And now the leadoff hitter for the Patriots coming up to the plate, Chris Biggs, 1 for 2 in the game. He had a double and he scored a run. Northside could really do some damage here in the third. These two teams played last year to a 1-1 tie. The first pitch to Biggs. High fly ball, left field, deep! And it's off the fence. A run will score. 2 runs will score. 3 runs will score. And Chris Biggs clears the bases with a bases clearing double. And Northside has opened up the floodgates. They lead Calvary Christian 8-7. That was a couple inches away from being the second grand slam of this game. Northside has put up 8 runs, all in the third inning. And Calvary finds themselves trailing for the first time in this game. Javion Wyndham, the batter, 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Was that a throw over to first? Trying to see if he touched the bag, and he clearly did. Javion Wyndham, runner at second, swing and a miss. 0-1. Seville, change up, and that fooled Wyndham a little bit because he was underneath it, fouls it away. He's behind the count, 0-2. A good changeup by Andrew Seville, the relief pitcher in relief for Tommy Irving. Here in the third, the 0-2. That is low, ball 1. Just a reminder, Thrip Behrens and I will be at CVCC for CVCC baseball. The Pirates, Chris Gates, will be at Russell County for CVCC softball. The 1-2, it's in the dirt, a good stop by Kennedy. It's a 2-2 count to the number 2 hitter, Javion Wyndham. Seville, the pitch, fastball, just missed. Oh, you wanted that one. It runs the count full once again. Seville working from the stretch. The payoff pitch, fastball, and that is lined in a right field, a base hit. Biggs rounds third. Here comes the throw to the, it's not going to be in time, and Biggs scores the run, and Northside now leads 9-7. A 2-out RBI single for Javion Wyndham. And Northside on the end of his bat, too. Broken his bat. I know that our intern up here